Hello, my friend, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Daily. My name is Aaron Machbitz. I thoroughly enjoyed the September 8th edition of Monday Night Raw, so let's talk about some highlights. Of course, AJ Lee returned to Monday Night Raw. We saw AJ Lee come back to WWE after 10 years on Friday Night SmackDown in Chicago with her husband, CM Punk. And then she comes back to Milwaukee on the September 8th edition of Monday Night Raw, and the thing that stood out to me the most was that AJ Lee single-handedly made taking care of your mental health cool again. She talked about going to therapy, taking care of her mental health, doing all these sorts of things, the hard work it takes to really prioritize yourself and your mental health. And AJ Lee stood in the middle of the ring and told the whole world on Netflix that taking care of your mental health is cool, it's awesome, and everyone should do it. I absolutely love that. That was my favorite part of the whole entire show, because I think how real and important that is for everyone watching at home, everyone in the building, to see that, okay, AJ Lee, someone I look up to, someone who's done it all, someone who's a legend, a trailblazer, is really prioritizing their mental health. I might as well do the same. It empowers others to go and do the same. So that part of AJ Lee's promo was real, it was important, and it saves lives, to be very honest, given that September is Suicide Prevention Month. That is a really, really important thing that AJ Lee has done, and it's no small thing, and it needs to be recognized. Outside of that, her promo was fine. I thought the whole segment ran a little long. I thought it got a little awkward. I thought it ran a little long, but it did its job. We will see this mixed tag team match at WrestlePalooza, AJ Lee, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. So yes, the AJ Lee part about her mental health was fucking awesome, but the whole segment was a little long. It ran a little dry, but it got where it needed to get to, and now we know there's a mixed tag team match at WrestlePalooza, which is looking like the biggest pay-per-view or PLE of the year outside of like WrestleMania, with the amount of sick matches that are going to be at that PLE. And then this feud is going to continue and continue. You're probably going to see AJ Lee and Becky Lynch wrestle. You're probably going to see AJ Lee win the Intercontinental title. You're not going to see CM Punk win the World Heavyweight Championship until a big PLE. I'm predicting Las Vegas WrestleMania main event. CM Punk is finally going to beat Seth Rollins and win that world title, and going to hold it for a very, very long time. So we have that. I also love the fact that Rusev got another win. Rusev had a very dominating victory over Sheamus in one of the best matches I've seen. And then Rusev picks up another win. I predicted at the beginning of the year when Penta joined WWE that he was going to sort of fade away into lower mid-card. That's exactly what's happening to him, unless he gets unless a feud picks up with him in the New Day, which no one really is excited about the New Day or Grayson Waller, so we'll see. But Rusev is a main event player. We know that for a fact. Now it's very interesting what's happening here with Jimmy and Jey Uso. Jimmy and Jey Uso opened the show on Monday Night Raw. They opened the show. People were fired up. They ran it back. It was Yeet City, whatever the case may be is. And it looks like there's this sort of shift in Jey Uso. And you could see that. You could see that in that promo and that conversation he had with his brother backstage before the main event. Then we have the main event of LA Knight and Bronson Reed. Pretty good match, but it's setting up something else. It's setting up Survivor Series. It's setting up War Games for Petco Park in November. That's what it's setting up. And Jey Uso, with all of the things that he's saying, he comes out for the save for LA Knight. Then he spears LA Knight. He's using the word acknowledge me. He's using all of these phrases and terms, and he's moving like Roman Reigns. Is Jey Uso being set up to become the next tribal chief? Is that a fact? Is that where we're moving? Because you have the tribal thief in Bronson Reed. You have the vision, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, Paul Heyman, Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins. Their hands are tied right now with CM Punk and AJ Lee. But you still have LA Knight, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso. What's happening with all of these things? Is Jey Uso turning into the next tribal chief, because we're not going to see Roman Reigns for a little bit. He's out filming Street Fighter. Not sure when they're going to have his epic return, or if they will, it'll probably be maybe at Survivor Series, War Games. Maybe Roman comes out to sort of save the day, or maybe he's like a surprise entrant number 5, or whatever the case may be. But Jey Uso is flipping a switch a little bit. He's no longer playing games. Maybe he doesn't want to yeet anymore. Maybe he doesn't want to be the catchphrase guy anymore. Maybe he wants to be a serious professional wrestler that can really, really, really get his World Heavyweight Championship back. And so that was a very interesting development. And another interesting development is Bayley. The promos that she's doing backstage with the voices in her head, conflicting ideas. It's a very real. Like the AJ Lee promo in the ring about her mental health, it's very real. Everyone struggles with their mental health. And so if we're being encouraged to take care of it, that's real. I can connect with that. Same with Bayley. All of us have that voice in our head that says, yes, I want to be a good person, do good things, forgive, let go. No, screw them, hold grudges. Right? We all have those voices in our head. The devil and the angel sit on our shoulders every day, and whatever we lean towards, that sort of dictates how we move in our life. Right? There's a vice of excess, and there's a vice of deficiency, and we all have that. And Bayley is displaying that sort of perfectly. But which direction is she going to go in? It's sort of like the Jey Uso. Which direction is Jey Uso going to go in? Is he going to go full tribal chief, I'm the boss, acknowledge me mode, or is he going to stay sort of in the yeet mode, Jey Uso mode, and still try to be the tribal chief? What's Bayley going to do? Is she going to go full dark side? Is she going to try to go back to role model, being a good person? Or is she going to sort of toe that line, which all great performers do? They toe that line. They cross it when they need to, and they come back, and they do it for the sake of, winning championships and all these sorts of things. And so I'm really intrigued by the Jey Uso stuff. I'm very intrigued by what's happening with Bayley. I think Rusev could get a major, major push. And of course, the stuff with the mixed tag team match is really, really cool. And we know that, speaking of women, we know Io Sky and Stephanie Vacour are going to wrestle at WrestlePalooza. But one more thing about women, if I never have to watch a Nikki Bella match again, I'll be very excited. Thank God she's teaming up with Rhea Ripley, so now Rhea Ripley can actually do the brunt of the work. We don't have to see Nikki Bella wrestle. I mean, she had I think the worst match of the year with Becky Lynch at the last PLE. Wasn't a very good match with Asuka, and Asuka's like an excellent professional wrestler. So we don't need to see Nikki Bella anymore. So hopefully after this thing with Rhea Ripley and they get this thing tied up, it can be done, and we don't have to see her wrestle anymore, because there's other women in the division that are doing amazing work. Like Lyra and Raquel had a fantastic match. Lyra continues to perform well on TV, and she continues to get more matches like that. We'll see what happens with her and Roxanne next week. Like, these are the women that should be being pushed, not Nikki Bella, who couldn't wrestle in the Divas era and still can't wrestle now. But overall, I thought the September 8th edition of Monday Night Raw was awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a good episode. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Then like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Lots of love. Cheers.